Hello, friends. Many people are crying that they want to know God's will when it comes to whom to marry or who to be with. But how many of you are actually going to follow God when He actually gives you instructions? Oftentimes, God's idea of a partner for us is not what we want to hear or How many of you have God been pointing you towards a particular person, but you have decided to switch over to the one that actually pleases you? The one that appeals to your human understanding of what a right woman should be. When God speaks, do you listen? This is why today we have errors and mistakes in marriages. God shows people, God speaks to them through revelations, through the ear. Some of them feel it in their spirit, and they see the signs that shows that this is who you are supposed to be married to. One time I heard a lady said, "I know if I want to really get married and be happy, I should marry someone like this. But because he does not fit into my perfect description, I would not go with him. I will go with that." Many of us are like that. Even though we say, "God, I want you to lead me," but when He leads you, you do not want to follow. So today we'll be sharing a story, a testimony about a young man named Carl. Carl had always wanted to marry someone amazing, and so he said to God that he was going to wait for God to show him whom his wife is going to be. Carl, after his graduation from the university, did not have any relationship, although because of his good grades and the blessings of God upon his life, Carl had many ladies come around who were nice. And wanted to be the one. Carl kept trusting the Lord and hoping that God will reveal his right partner soon enough. After years and years of waiting, Carl read a book sometime about knowing your right partner. He decided to try because he felt God speaks in diverse ways. And so he decided to give a try to some of the things that he read in the book. Out of the multitude of the ladies that flung around Carl, he decided to pick one stunning, amazing Christian young lady. She was beautiful. She was nice. She dressed beautifully. She carried herself with poise and grace. Carl felt that this was God's choice for me. And so he started a relationship with her. And because he was a man that was focused, he was not ready to play hanky-panky and play around. You wanted to go straight to marriage, but as time went on, Carl started noticing that his spirit was uneasy whenever she was around. She had all the qualities that he could desire in a woman, but yet he felt uneasy. Carl kept wondering what the problem was. He went back to praying and asking God what the problem is. But in the midst of it all, there was this lady in the church. She was in a wheelchair, but each time she said hi to Carl, there was always this attraction to her. But Carl felt that this attraction was motivated by pity for her and for her condition. This went on and on. Carl, that wanted to speeding things up, saw himself that 1 year later, he was with this beautiful lady. He couldn't get himself to ask her to marry him. One day, Carl decided to ask God what the problem was, and the Spirit of God in him told him, "This is not the right woman for you." Carl was pained in his heart, because he had come to love this lady. He had come to see her as the mother of his children. He had come to see her as his perfect bride, but being a man that was open to the leading of the Holy Spirit, Carl had to end the relationship with her painfully. He was pain and so was she, but they parted ways. And then Carl asked God, "Who then is my wife?" And the Holy Spirit prompted him towards the way of that lady in the wheelchair. At first, Carl felt, what is this? Is this the Holy Spirit? Or is this just my flesh speaking? But the prompting continued, and the leading continued. It came by word of knowledge from Carl's pastor that that was his wife. Carl had dreams and visions that that was his wife. Carl also was reading books, and then he noticed that almost everything he read in that book was pointing towards that same lady. So Carl decided to yield and to go and read, and ask that lady out 3 months down the line. They were married today. Carl and the same lady are married with 3 amazing kids, and he's living his best life. Yes, she is in a wheelchair, but she was perfect for him. She was God's perfect will for him. So it's not about look. Number 6 is, what is God saying to you? How do you know as a lady who to marry? How do you know as a man who to marry? And that is why today's video is focused on 3 ways that God shows you who to marry. So let us look at these 3 ways that God shows you whom to marry. Number 1 way that God shows you is through dreams and visions. God could come through dreams, remember? God spoke to Joseph through dreams. God spoke even to Jacob through dreams. God has been speaking over time, both through scriptures and even to the now through dreams, and this has been God. If you know how to decipher God's voice through dreams, you will not miss it in life. Another way that God speaks is through the Holy Spirit directly into your ears, or through words of wisdom from your man of God. If you have a spiritual covering over your life, a pastor, a minister that God has put over you, God could speak through them, and that would be precise. God also could speak to you. Sometimes it comes to your spirit or through your ears. Sometimes you hear it clearly with a small, still voice telling you that this is God. Is the way to go. This is the path to walk in. If you can only listen and follow, you will not miss it when it comes to the place of marriage. Remember, God does not want you to marry wrong, because if you marry wrong, your hell on earth has started already. You could go and ask him. Those who have broken homes and divorced marriages, they will tell you what it is like. Some people, their homes are not broken and neither are they divorced, but they're going through hell here on earth in the wrong marriage. If you marry wrong, you could even miss heaven because of the wrong marriage. So God speaks constantly. Another way that God speaks and shows you whom to marry is through books and through signs. Just like Carl, God could be speaking to you and giving you directions through books. He could tell you these are the things to see and what not to see. He also speaks through signs. There are many signs that God shows you that tells you that this is the right person for you. Please do not be blinded to signs. Seek out signs that tells you that this is God speaking and pointing out that that is the right person for you. Remember, signs are God's way of speaking through physical things and giving you spiritual implications. Remember, in the Bible, Jesus used parables. These days, God speaks through signs. Please do not miss the words he is saying to you about someone through signs. Do not miss your spouse. Listen and open your ears. God could be speaking to your ears to your heart, or to your spirit. God could be speaking to you through dreams and visions of the night, or through trends that you notice even in the daytime. But do not miss God speaking. He could be speaking through that message you're hearing from the man of God, or when you went to meet the man of God, and he told you certain things that he understood by the leading of the Spirit of God. Please do not joke with these things. Things that would guide you and lead you into the right marriage. God will help you not to marry wrong in life. God will lead you to your right partner and to your right spouse, and you will have a happy home. I believe it. I know it. And I see you having it also. God bless you. If this video has blessed you, please like, subscribe, and share with someone.